Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up, man?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, we got CTE with Chris Lopes and Travis. Wednesdays is the Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon, fellas. It's showtime. What's going on?
What's up, man? Just chilling for the most part, regular work week. This week now, starting, the family's off because, my wife's a teacher and the kids are, in school. And we get to spend spring break with COVID at home. I know. That's
At least it's not like it was 3 years ago.
No, it's a lot better. But here's the thing. So my wife, she tried to go to work on Friday, and I told her to stay home because she was a mess. And she just, she tries to not listen.
When
she got there, yeah, she really did. But I told her they have an in-house substitute. So I said, just use that sub. They can it's almost spring break. Like, they're not going to run your lesson. It's all right. So she ended up getting there and doing that. And then she came home. And so for me, because then it was the next kid, and next kid. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, when's it my turn? Because it's coming. Like, I'm in a house with these people. I can't get away from them. I've already been around them the last 2 weeks. So they could have had COVID this whole time and didn't know it. So, yeah, yesterday was my day. So starting today, I'm, getting through it.
Okay. Man. Well, hopefully you get better soon, man.
This ain't as bad as the last time. It's like feels like a bad cold. My wife, she looked like she was going through the flu. Like it was bad.
Okay. I was in a similar situation. That you're talking about. Melissa had it, Dakota had it, and I didn't get it. I have not had COVID yet. Even when Champ's mom and Champ got it, they have had it, and I still haven't had it. I wonder if it's something.
I think some people are just immune to it or don't even show the symptoms.
Yeah, I guess. Even when I was sick back in September, and I tested every day, especially because I had to go out to California for work. And when I went out there, like it was, regardless if I had COVID or not, one of the rules out there for our meeting, we had to test every day. So I had to test every day regardless, and I didn't have it. I was just sick when I was out there. And then it didn't make it any better flying out there. And, my ear was all messed up. And then it took 2 weeks. After I got back, it took 2 weeks before my ear popped. My ear was still I had to go to the doctor because I had like a little ringing in the ear also. And it was horrible. And then I had like a week or two. Then I had to drive to Kentucky when I was down there for work, and I was still kind of sick. It's still testing, and I never, I haven't had it yet. So I don't know, man. I wonder why I've been dodging it so far.
You lucky. My middle child, she'll have some symptoms, but she'll test negative every time. She technically hasn't had it, and she hasn't even been boosted yet.
One time I did come up positive was right when I was getting ready. I was supposed to go to Florida, 2021. I was supposed to go out there for Drew's wedding. I was supposed to be.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I tested positive, but I took another test like 2 days later, and it was negative. And I took like 5 tests, and they were all negative. So I think that first one was like a false positive because I didn't have any symptoms when I tested positive. I just took the test, just before I got on the plane. It was a couple days before the flight, so I ended up having to cancel the flight and everything.
That stinks, man. That it wasn't even
Yeah, and I didn't even have it, you know. So I missed out on that. So yeah, that stuff is still out here, you know. So hopefully, you know, you get better soon, man.
I'll be good, man. Thanks. Angel, what's up?
Not that much, man. Just chilling. You know, week has been just been moving. I'll say my spring break hasn't started yet. Although my spring break starts in like a week and a half. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man. March went by so fast for me. Like I feel like we just started March like a week ago.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
And we're already about to be in the middle of April. Realistically, we're about to be like we're like it's crazy to me. So that's just nuts. But yeah, man, that's really it. It's
how's your injury recovery going?
It's going good, man. I mean, I haven't done nothing with it yet. So really just been just like I still go to the gym. I still do everything I need to do. And it's really just like just leaving it where it's at, and then we'll figure out what's gonna happen. My biggest thing right now is I'm just trying to like figure out what I'm gonna do once the school year ends. Like whether I'm gonna put it off until the summer and wait till the beginning of the summer to get it, like the end of like the beginning of the school year, or whether I get it at the beginning of the summer. I don't want to have a whole summer where I can't do nothing. That's just not fun either. So that's like my thing.
Sure.
But besides that, ain't no else, man.
You should do like some of those athletes, man. Some of those athletes, they wait all summer, and then right before the season's supposed to start, then they don't go ahead.
Hey, listen,
have surgery or whatever.
Wow, listen, I thought about that, but my only thing is I'm trying to get like a new job, so I'm trying to do that like as soon as I get hired.
Yeah.
Deuces. Listen, hey, I'm just like as soon as I get hired, I just need that medical. That's it. Deuces. I'm out. Wow. I ain't trying to do that. But yeah, so that's really it. And then besides that, ain't nothing else, man. You know, Gene's out here working me like a slave.
You mean Travis? You mean Travis, right?
Nah. Hey, listen. When you texted me, I was like, sure, why not? Throw something else on my plate. I got nothing else to do, right? You guys are like, you can't move. You might as well just do something with his life. I got it.
There you go.
But yeah, now so I was say, hey, man, listen. Also, for all the viewers, just in general, man, really check out Main Network, check out our website, and I'm just telling everybody right now, putting out the disclaimer, get on the bandwagon now, man, because once we blow up, like I don't want to hear all these people I've been with y'all down since these days, because I'm gonna say it right now, ain't no one as real and as loyal as a fan as I was about Martial Arts Internet Network since day one, and I can honestly say that when I first met Chris, I did not say like, oh my God, you're Chris Walker from All Stars. I said, yo, that's Chris. He's on the main gang. I listen to him every day I go to work. I remember I said that to him. Maybe they can all tell you. Chris can tell you, you know, like I always say, like I was a fan first before I even got like the opportunity that Gene offered me to work with y'all. So like, yo, jump on the wave, man, because what we're about to do is gonna be so crazy. And that just leads into like our Patreon, like what we're doing with our own Patreon, our interviews. Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, so let's talk about that right quick before I get into my. You know what? Let me do my thing first. Well,
man, sorry.
No, we'll talk about that in a second. But hey, Joe, do you think it's weird that spring break here in Michigan is early? Yeah, like normally, I remember when I was in high school or elementary school, spring break and Easter were kind of like together. It was either before,
yeah, so like
after.
No, so like for us, they do it. They wrap it. So you know how like sometimes you have like Good Friday or like Holy Friday, right?
Yeah.
Instead of them giving you Holy Friday off and then another week, like then a random week later on, instead of you getting it off, you'll get like Good Friday off all the way until like a week and a half until like another Monday off.
Right. Yes, that's how it was.
But yeah, it's crazy because I hear other people, they're like spring break is in like March. Like they have like a college spring break. And I'm like, that's just weird.
Yeah, in college, my spring break wasn't tied to Easter, but in elementary school and high school, it was.
Yeah.
And it's just weird to me, like now that these kids, they're going to go back to school, at least here in Michigan, they're going to go back to school next week. And then, they're going to have
4 days.
Friday. Yeah, and then the Friday and then Easter. That just seems weird.
Do you guys have winter recess also? Like winter break?
Yeah, they have.
Wax got off that a couple weeks ago.
Not Christmas, like February, like they do like the president.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what we talking about. Yeah,
that's when I took my trip to Florida.
Yeah.
They do all the breaks together, like you just back to back. Like that's just weird.
Well, no. So that break was in February, so it was a few weeks, and then the spring break.
I know, but that's crazy because if you think about it, Christmas break is like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and then after that it's February. You got your break in there.
Yeah.
And then after that it's March, so you got your break in there. So, so then they have the kids do no days off from April. April you have Easter and Good Friday. So then what do? You just have for that you just do May has nothing and June they out.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day.
You guys still get out in June or no?
Yeah, we do. And once again, that's a little bit different too. That I noticed because when I was in school, we were getting out at least by May 5th. I mean by June. Well, in high school we were done by at least by June, between June 9th and June 15th, somewhere in between that time we were out of school. Now all these kids are going to damn near the end of June, and that seems a little strange to me. Yeah, they went like almost to the end of June.
Y'all start in August too?
They just got back to doing that about 2 years ago. Before, there was a few years with
So Labor Day.
Yeah, to Labor Day. Labor Day. They went after Labor Day, and now they're going back in August. So.
Like for me, I end June 7th. I end like the first week of June. I'm out.
Good.
Okay.
And we didn't have that many. We only had one snow day over here, so we got.
Well, we had a few. We
had a couple.
We had a few, at least 3 or 4 of them. But in those snow days that we have, it wasn't a lot of snow. I mean, it wasn't enough to close the schools or whatever. But
they did a lot of missiles this year, or delayed openings, which was cool. I like that. I'll be honest, as a teacher,
Had to sleep in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, and like Joe, I'm sure your wife will say the same thing. Like, it's not necessarily that you want the whole day, but like, you just want to sleep in a little bit because then you don't want to because you gotta stay later in the year. You just want to I want to still get up early. Just let me sleep early let me sleep in a little late right now. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my weekend was pretty cool. The kids, we went to the 45th annual Alkebalan Motor City Nationals tournament. We had a good time, man. Those kids, they really showed up and showed out. I took 8 kids to the tournament. 6 of them got first place, and we had two guys. They got second place, got silver medals, and then 1 bronze. And they made me proud. They really did their thing, and actually they got them excited about the next tournament in a couple weeks. You got Jaime Serrato's tournament April 15th, so I was gonna go to that one, and they're just as excited as about going to that one now. So they hyped, they turned up. So
it's good, man.
Sunday, I had Chap here at the house, and we just chill, man, relax. And I'm looking forward to this weekend because I absolutely have nothing to do this weekend. Don't have to go nowhere. Don't have to do nothing. That's it.
Yes, sir.
So, Joe, we had a windstorm here Saturday night. How bad did it get?
No, I mean, people were talking about losing power and stuff, but I was good.
Yeah, I didn't
more branches. I got a few more branches in the yard, so that was fun.
Man, my back fence is halfway off now.
Oh,
yeah. So I had to get somebody to come on here and take a look at that. But other than that, we didn't lose power either. I know by my parents' house, they had a couple of big branches in the driveway that I ended up having to move, get out the way. But other than that, their house is good too. They still got power and everything over there, so it all working out pretty good. So
windstorm,
yeah, it was wind, man. Like I don't know. Did you hear, Joe, how fast that wind was going? Like you heard it coming before it got to you. You heard it. It was like this motherfucker was down the street. You heard it rumbling down the street.
40 to 60, I heard, and then a little bit of rain and hail. It was crazy.
Yeah, I did have some water in my basement too. I was a little upset about that. I had to get somebody to come out here and take a look at that, man. Because anytime it rains hard, I'm starting to get some water in the basement. Gotta nip that in the bud now.
Yeah, you sure do not want that getting worse, bro. Yeah, like oof.
So let's talk about our Patreon. We did Thursday. We did Patreon interview Jackson Spidell. He is a stunt choreographer and flight
coordinator is his current job. He was a stunt double for a while. I thought he was a stunt double in 2 and 3. He was a stunt double for 1 and 2 of John Wick, and then he was the coordinator for 3. And I don't think he had anything to do with 4. He said, because now he's working on a spinoff that I didn't even know about.
Bro, that was, to me, I didn't want to like make it go crazy. I didn't want to like be like, I didn't want to be, oh shit, I leaked it. But I was like, let him keep talking about this spinoff. We got
no, you can look it up. I looked it up. You can look it up. It talks about the whole thing.
Yeah, I just saw an article about it today, actually, about
I mean, if anything, it just gives more it shines more light on it, because he didn't give us like it. Well, maybe he didn't.
He just gave the spinoff.
yeah.
Even though, I mean, it was enough for me to go look it up, and now I'm ready because I want to go see that. That looks really good.
Yeah, dude.
You got add that to our list or no?
Yeah.
Now, what you were gonna say something earlier when we were doing our pre-show, Angel? Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I really enjoyed doing our Patreon with Jackson Spidell, and I think it was kind of cool to just look at the different contrasts, because it really was like a huge contrast between our first one with Ron Pownell and then him. I feel like Ron was able just to come off at the hip more. Like he kind of, I think he kind of said something funny to me when he's like, "Come on, guys, what are your questions? Go ahead, hit me with them." Like he loved it. Like he liked the challenge almost. And
he wanted us to set him up, and he was knocking him down.
See, I should have asked that question, Angel.
No point. That's out.
I bet that would have gone off guard.
But he
might have been like, "All right, have a nice night, everybody."
Stop you about to make Eugene, man. I can't.
Right.
I think it was really cool. So watch Ron, man. I think the cool thing about Ron was he's a good storyteller, right? And I think that was like the best part, is like he just, the way he tells the story was really good. And I almost feel like I was there, and a lot of the stuff he said, like I was like, oh man, it's crazy. What I liked about Jackson was you can see the acting and the theatrics and the way he just lives his everyday life. You know, him like showing what the people were doing, how they messed up in certain parts of just doing the scenes. Like the way he just showed it, I can picture someone actually doing that. I can picture myself trying to be the hero and roll down some stuff. But I thought Jackson was just cool, man. I just thought his whole demeanor, like he's just a good soul. Like he just lives life kind of carefree and just enjoys himself, which is cool. You know, as much as he can, get him beat up and thrown against walls and all that. But, you know, like I said, like I thought it was actually a really cool interview to do with Jackson. And I'm actually, on the other side of it, though, I had to learn a lot about just the behind-the-scenes stuff of the industry. Like, I really don't know much about acting and stunt choreograting and fight choreography. I really don't know much about it. So it's kind of cool to hear how many martial artists that we've actually all know and love that are huge household names that he's worked with. So that's just cool, man.
That was my favorite part, is just to get that peek behind that curtain, because I had no idea. And now it's like, oh, that is very cool. It's nice to know. And, you know, for people interested in getting into that industry, you definitely want to go learn, because he definitely gave some good tips on that.
I like what he said about Marvel also. Like, I mean, hell, like when a movie comes out, they're damn near surprised also, because they get different scripts and they're doing so many different scenes. They don't know what the final movie is going to be like. You know,
that was so cool, bro. That was so cool what he said about the premiere. I don't want to like ruin it for everybody. Go watch the Patreon. What he said about the premiere, what he said about Marvel specifically. I mean, that I almost appreciate the movies now a lot more. Like just going to go watch it and just know like the little behind the scenes stuff. I actually thought it was also cool, man. Like how you said, Joe, is just he kind of laid out like the groundwork. If you want to get into stunt acting and you want to get into fight choreography, like he gave some really good tips and like stuff that I wouldn't even think of, but it was like really good, man. And I know like me, like I went to the Las Vegas, I went to the Martial Arts Super Show. You guys all remember last year I was telling you guys like it was a cool experience. I remember Mike Chat did a fight choreography seminar while we were there, and that one of the things, so 87th North, where Jackson Spidell comes from, that's where Mike Chat and everyone else comes from. Bullet Train, which is what you talked about. They were, when I went to Martial Arts Super Show, I knew about Bullet Train coming out. They were doing like the press tour around the world for it, right? Which was cool. And I thought something that I really liked was just how he talked about like all the guys helping each other. So the guys in 87 North, like they all help each other out. They all try and do each other's movies, fight choreography, and I just think that's just that good little wholesome family feel, like martial artists looking out after each other. So it was just a good overall interview, man. I loved it. And me, I don't know about everybody else, but listen, if you guys ever watch the video, I fanboy out when I talk to these people because I would never thought I'd be over here talking to like celebrities, and I don't care what Jackson thinks of himself. He's a celebrity. I don't care. He man and talk to Ryan Gosling and has dressed up in the Deadpool suit. You are definitely a
yeah. You got the Raw Ryan on that one though. You mean Ryan
Reynolds?
Nah, I wonder maybe he was talking about Baby Driver.
Hey, I should have asked him about Deadpool 3. That's what I should have did. I should have asked him.
He ain't gonna give you nothing.
No,
he knows about it.
Yeah, he probably doesn't even know.
I probably asked. He'll give me another Deadpool. I have no clue. Actually, I don't know. At home.
All right, Joe, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. John Wick Chapter 2. So I do remember that this was the one that was a little bit my least favorite out of the 3 that I've seen, and I heard great things about 4 already. I don't know when I'm gonna get to go see that, but it's on my list for sure. But watching it, like this is like the 3rd or 4th time I watched it. I see what they were trying to do. I get what they were trying to do. It kind of got away from some of the action. They laid out a lot of plot for us.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is when you have like this hardcore plot and action in the first movie, and then you get real heavy into the plot for the second one, like it's a letdown. I'm expecting the second movies aren't always better, but at least, you want it to hold its own against the first. So I think my expectations might have been really high, and maybe that's why I dislike this one. But all in all, it wasn't a terrible movie. Like I said, they're really get into the foundation of the hotel, of they're starting to show you more about that, and this one even introduces a new element, starting off at the beginning. So it kind of picks up right where the first one left off. It's just after he's killed, the son, and he's killed one of the head of this Russian mob, and now he's going looking for his car because, of course, he already got revenge for the dog. He technically got revenge for the car, but he wants his car back. Well, the car is with... I
actually thought he got it back at the end of the first one. I thought he had...
So did I, but remember the hotel gave him a Camaro, not a Mustang. So he's after his old Mustang. So he's chasing it down, and the funny thing is, the guy who has it, and they didn't give a name. I mean, I'm sure if I looked it up, but it's Vigo's brother. Because he talks about the John Wick killing his nephew, talks about John Wick killing his brother, and he's like, he's coming for me because I have his car. And the one guy he's talking to says, well, can you just give it back to him? And he's like, no, we're past that. Now, I mean, it's funny.
That was ridiculous to me.
But they all say the same thing about John Wick. They say, they call him the boogeyman, but he's not even the boogeyman. He's the one that you send to kill the boogeyman. So Baba Yaga. And they call him focused. They say he's the most focused individual. Now, the thing that this brother says that really stood out to me, so he's talking about a story of how John Wick killed 3 people in a bar with just a pencil. And the guy he's talking to, I've heard this story before, he says. He goes, okay, yes, you have heard this story before, but let me tell you something. He says, think about this. Every story you've ever heard about John Wick is probably true, but it's also probably watered down.
Right. That's scary.
Now, yeah, that's the scariest thing I've heard in this entire movie.
Yeah.
So he's thinking like, okay, when you hear a story being told 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, whatever, it's like a game of telephone where things get mixed up, embellished, things are told differently each time. So he's basically saying, as bad as we think this man is, we probably don't know until we're already dead. That says a lot. So he busts in, he's killing everybody. He gets into this chop shop run by the brother, kills everybody in there, gets his car, goes and talks to the brother, and basically says, peace. In Russian, he says, peace. And the guy looks at him like, Are you for real? Like, he really looked at him like
I had no choice. He had no choice but to say that.
I know, but the way he looked at him was just like, why? Like, why are you got everything? Like, you should kill me. But he didn't. He didn't kill him. They had a drink. They toasted, and he was gone.
Yeah. I think that I was wondering when I saw that scene. I was wondering how come he just didn't leave. Like he heard the commotion.
Yeah.
He knew he was coming. Like, why didn't he just leave?
He didn't seem to care.
I wonder what happened to the guy that he was talking to, because he was talking with someone in his office.
Oh, he killed him.
I missed that part. I didn't see him. I didn't see that guy get killed.
He killed everyone except for the brother.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. That he just killed. Now the funny thing is, you do all this to go get this car that you love, and then you wreck this car. I mean, you're not even in the car for 2 seconds, and you total it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this thing, I don't even know how it's starting. Everything's cracked. He knocked the door off completely. The engine's falling out. He drives the car back home. He calls John Leguizamo, whatever. I don't remember the original Chop Shop guy.
Yeah.
In his car originally, and asks him if he can fix it. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'll have it for Christmas."
Yeah, that car was destroyed. It was absolutely horrible.
It's gonna cost 3 times the amount that car is worth to fix that thing. But I mean, if it's that, and he seems to have the money anyway, so
right.
Whatever. Not that they even talked about money. This guy looked like he was just going to do it so we don't kill him.
Well, he probably knew. I mean, that character was a part of this whole organization anyway. So, he probably was going to charge him he knew he was going to get one of those coins. Which it feels like everybody takes are those coins.
Yeah, those coins are, see, I want to know, that's why I really want a background. Like, I want a prequel. Because I want to know about these coins. Why are they so sought after? And I mean, what do you have to do to get them? Because he's handed them out like candy, but like
only
it has to be like
it's only the people that's in these organizations. Like he's just not, when he goes to get gas, he's not giving the gas.
That's what I'm saying. But like, is this representing all the kills that he's made? Like that's what I'm curious about. I'm interested to see what I think that there's gonna be some stuff revealed for this, and I'm really curious about it. So he goes, so at the first movie, he had buried under, like in his basement foundation, he dug up a spot and he buried all his assassin gear, and he put some cement over it. It was basically just a floor. Well, he's doing that again, which makes me laugh because I'm like, okay, we're not going to make a movie where he's not an assassin, so obviously he's going to need that stuff again. But whatever, he's got to fool himself. So a gentleman shows up, and it's someone that he knows, and like the guy, he says he's sorry to be here. He doesn't want to be here, but he has no choice. And so they're talking, and we're finding out like they know each other, and he helped John get out. Now I've watched this movie a couple times, so I didn't know the first time what I was watching. But when we watch the third movie and then go back and watch this one, you kind of know more about it.
Okay.
So what happened was, to get out and to get the help he needed from this gentleman, who dad had a seat with the organization that runs the hotel. So basically the people who run the assassins and basically run the city.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 12 seats, and his dad used to be one of them. And when the dad died, he bequeathed his seat to the daughter, not to the son. And this is the son. So John had gone to him when he went to get out, and he had signed what they call a marker. It's like a container. You open it up. It's like some kind of coin, like a huge medallion. Mm-hmm. And you sign, like you put your thumb in blood, and that's how you sign the marker. And basically it says, I owe you one.
Now, yeah, that is pretty stupid to me. That is really, really stupid, because if you know that he wants to get out,
yeah, then
you know that he doesn't want to kill anymore or have anything to do with any of this stuff.
Who says he has to kill? If he owes you one, it could be anything.
Man. No, I agree. I agree to that. I 100% agree. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But he knew what's the guy's name? I don't remember his name.
I'd have to look it up.
He knew that John wanted to get out and didn't want to kill anymore. So if he would come back to casting that marker, it should have been anything except for getting back into the life.
Well, and here's the thing, because he did say this. He said that I wouldn't be here if you didn't unretire. So John is still denying coming out of retirement. And technically, he didn't take on a job. This was a personal matter. So he never officially was back. Everyone keeps asking if he's back, and he gives kind of the same answer. Working stuff out. No, not really. I don't think so. He never really said he's back. Now, in this movie, there is a point where he goes, yeah, I'm back. And he's kind of pissed at this point.
Right. Because
the problem is, this guy wants him to do a job, and he's calling his marker, and he tells him flat out, no. And the guy says, now what's going to happen. So throughout this fraternity of assassins, apparently a marker, you got to honor the marker or you die.
He's in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, but this guy, I guess he didn't know who he was messing with, because right away this guy goes right to his car, pulls out some kind of nuke or something, and just destroys his whole house.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I don't know why you would do that, because you know that you're pissing off the wrong man. But I guess he thought he was cool enough. So this is where the movie really starts, because now John Wick, just like before, killed his dog, took his car. Now you just destroyed his house. He's pissed.
And the house has sentimental value to him. His wife's possessions are in there, necklace, pictures, and all of that stuff. So now, you really
that's where he built his life with her. So
right.
Yeah, he's not happy. And I don't know, man. I get, you think that you have to do something, and you're mad because you had this lottery ticket basically, and you're trying to cash it in, and the people you're trying to cash it into are saying no. I get that sentiment, but why poke the bear?
Right.
Better. Everybody knows better than to mess with John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
And that this guy went ahead and did it. So he goes, at the end of John Wick 1, we found out who the head of the Assassin's Guild is. And so John goes to him and kind of says, what can I do? And he tells him straight up, he's like, you got to honor the marker. I know you don't want to. I know you're against it, but, you got no choice, because if it's either he has the right to kill you or we're going to have to kill you. And they'll fight the whole team.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which sucks when it comes to the end of the movie.
Well, it even is worse, because what this guy wants him to do is he wants that seat on the council. So he basically says, kill my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other problem is, I think if you kill someone on the council, that also gets you in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that didn't set things in motion, because he didn't get his membership revoked for that. Now, he had some people after him,
mm-hmm.
but not as many as he had at the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So now the thing that this brother does that is really messed up. So John takes the job reluctantly. He goes to the tailor, and the tailor, this part cracks me up, because the tailor's talking about they're talking like they're going to a dinner party. What do you got for day wear? What do you got for evening? What do you got for dessert? But really, he's talking about suits, armor, and guns and knives. So he's loaded up. He's got just all kinds of stuff. He's also looking at some plans, and I'm didn't know quite at when they're talking about it, but the plans are a catacombs under the building where the sister is. So she's at some fancy dinner party, I believe having to do with this organization, and he's got to go through the catacombs, kind of come in undetected, kill her, and try to get out undetected.
Right. Hold on one second, Joe. Angel, what do you think so far of the movie?
So I think it was kind of true what Joe said. Just in this part, well, just in general, just the movie was more laying out a foundation of a plot. I don't know about you guys. I kind of got a Kill Bill type of vibe watching John Wick 2. Did anyone else get that?
Well, I did.
Yep.
Just just a lot of story being set up, and that Kill Bill did have that a lot of story, but there was also a lot of killing, and there was just not even double the killing that was in the first. Like the first movie, once the action started, it pretty much went all the way to the end.
Yeah.
This one was a lot of story, a little bit of action, a lot more story, some more action, and then it got a good amount of action at the end. But
Yeah, I think when the action did pop up, it was really good. I really like how they maneuver. I mean, and I guess it's kind of to our interview we did with Jackson, kind of just looking at what fight choreography looks like now, just like seeing how they incorporate guns to jiu-jitsu movements, to Muay Thai movements, just putting them all together. I really got like a Kill Bill type of vibe though, like just like plot storylines, and then when they killed, it was just gruesome. It was like just some crazy ways they're killing. You know, I mean, I don't want to say we haven't gotten there yet. Like I know we're going to, but just like the whole concert thing, like that was crazy to me. That was just a crazy like whole sequence. That was just nuts. What I don't like the enemies that he's killing, like the henchmen. I don't like them because I feel like they always pop out right when he gets himself settled with all his guns and everything. When like, what? How many times did he just reload the gun perfectly, and then he pops out and the guy comes and he's, you know, and
that good.
Yeah, again, like we're nitpicking, like that's what it is. But it's just like that part kind of sucked, and it seemed like a lot of times he was getting shot at and never got no bullet to him. Like,
he got hit a few times, but he has Kevlar.
Right.
It's just thin. The guy told him when he was making it, he says it's going to stop the bullet, but you're going to feel it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it was just, but you know, like just in general, just that stuff. But besides that, I actually really liked the movie in terms. I think I just understood more of John Wick, and I think I needed that. But I will say, I wish they had a prequel, and I wish 2 was 1 and 1 was 2.
That I was saving that for the end. I was wondering if you guys think that it would have been better if that was the case.
Personally, my mind, I wish like how I agree with Joe. I want the prequel, right? I want 2 to be 1, and I want 1 to be 2. And I think 3 leave where it's at because 3 is perfect.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting, you guys. That would be interesting to watch these like that because, I mean, you'd know when you're watching the beginning of John Wick, you're like, okay, I heard this movie was a lot of killing and bad guys, and at the like first 20 minutes, you're like, yeah, there's nothing. But now we would have known.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's going through some stuff, but eventually he's gonna start killing some people.
Yeah. So I think that would have been cool. One thing I also will say, I don't know why, right? I don't know why, but I feel like Common is always like the bad guy for every movie. Like when they
played the bad guy from time.
Like when they cast like a black guy who's gonna be evil, it's like Common. Like he's always on like the bad side of it. But I will say, man, I was really impressed with his martial arts in this movie. I would love to know how he trained for this. Because I was paying attention closely. I didn't see so many times where he got switched out with a stunt double. So
well, that's one of the things I've been getting ready to say. After talking with Jackson, man, I really appreciate the camera work with the fight scenes because I was looking close to see, you know, if I could tell that this is a stunt double, and I couldn't tell.
It's so quick. It's so quick. There was like one part where Keanu Reeves like does a judo throw on Common, right? If you looking to see if it's a stunt double, you see like right when he turns his face like super quickly, it was a stunt double. But if you didn't like notice that, you would have thought it was him.
Yeah, I was looking. I couldn't see it. Like it wasn't obvious like they did with Michael Jordan's mom. Did you ever see that when she was basketball? Yeah, it wasn't obvious like that.
Listen, you know how long it took for me to realize that was not his mom that actually dunked.
Shut up, Angel. Shut up. I'm not about to get into that with you. Shut up, Angel. I'm not getting into that. You can tell that full-grown man was not Michael Jordan's mama.
I swear to you, it took me so long to realize. I remember when I told you guys. Remember when, like, in the 90s, when like the Bruce Lee wave came out, and it was like Bruce Lee with 2 E's, one E, and I thought it was actually Bruce Lee. And No Retreat, No Surrender, I thought that was Bruce Lee for the longest. I was like, damn, man, that does not look like the real Bruce Lee though.
Yeah, I might have to ask Travis to chop this up and edit this and actually play this video for somebody so they can hear you say you didn't know that full big ass man wasn't Michael Jordan's mama. Go ahead, Joe, continue the story.
So he runs up on the sister, and she don't even try to fight or nothing. She gets in the pool and she basically takes her own life.
Mhm.
Now the crazy thing is, because I'm like, okay, will the brother still count the marker if she took her own life? But he goes ahead after she's pretty much dead because she slit both her wrists and she's bleeding out and shoots her in the head. So I guess he still gets the kill, even though, I mean, she was basically like, I'm going out on my own terms. And then he walks out like nothing happened. The problem is Common's character, her bodyguard, kind of says, "You working?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, You heading out? You done for the night?" He goes, "Yep." And then they start, going after each other, and he basically puts the whole crew on him. Now the other part, and this is the part that really, where you're like, okay, man, this is why he never should have took this job. I don't care if this guy's coming at him or not. The brother who put him up for this job sends his bodyguard, who's she's actually plays Batgirl for CW. The first season, she was out for the second and third season. She had some mental breakdown or something. Plus, she was in
Rose, that woman.
Yeah.
Rose. Yeah.
I really like her as an actress, and the Batgirl was not as good without her. I mean, without her. I really like her, but she was deaf in this one, so she kept sign language, which I don't know how many languages John Wick speaks. I mean, I've literally seen him speak 3 different languages and then sign language, so that's 4 technically. Like,
hold on,
what's up, man?
Hold on, real quick, Angel. Joe, either one of you answer this question for me. What was the when she slit her wrist and got into the pool? John went and grabbed her wrist, grabbed her hand, and did something. And she looked up at him in a weird way, and I didn't understand what was that connection that they just did right there, because I was lost at that.
I thought he was holding the hand up to drain her faster so she could as like a mercy. That's what I felt, but I mean, then he shot her in the head. So what's the difference?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's what I was like. Because she looked at him like I was wondering, was he trying to save her? So in the way she looked up, she looked a little surprised that he had took her arm. I don't know. I was a little lost. If any of you listeners know the answer to that question, let us know. I have no idea.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, because I mean,
wait, hold on, Joe. Angel has something.
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was crazy when John Wick pulls up to and he gets searched for weapons, and she does like a reach around on him, check and make sure you don't got nothing in his front and his backside. That to me was crazy. And then
she was trying to have her own fun.
Listen, when I saw that, I was like, I've never seen no one get checked that way. Like, that was just uncomfortable. It looked like it kind of looked like that one wasn't planned in the script. Like, she did that one out of necessity just to sell it.
Now, I do know that most of her characters in the past, including Batgirl, she played for the other team. So I'm not sure if that's her real life, but I mean, that part.
I believe so.
So do I. So I mean, maybe she just felt like, hey, he's famous enough, might as well get it with me while I can. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It wouldn't be the first time. Him and Common kind of get into it. They're wrestling around.
That was a good fight. Listen, that was a good fight scene. It lost me when they went down like 40, 50 flights of steps. That shit had me dying.
Yeah.
I was wondering, was that Jackson? That's what I was wondering. Was that Jackson rolling out of stuff like that?
Well, I don't think they have Keanu doing that. Because that
looked like that felt good.
No, not worth it.
They just both just jumped to get more steps to roll down. Like, it didn't even make sense.
Well, my thing was, I didn't realize they were that close to the hotel because they bust through a window and we're still fighting. And then the hotel security kind of is like, hey, you can't do this here.
Right.
So they both stop and go get a drink, which cracks me up. Because I'm like,
exactly.
About fight. The last fight I was in, man, like me and this dude, we were really, and this was a long time ago. Like we were really going. And then someone pulled me off of him, but nobody pulled him off of me. And so he jumped on me. Now I got to hit the dude that pulled me off him because I'm trying to defend myself.
Right.
I'm like, man, if you're going to pull, like, don't get in the middle of something, man, because you'll get hurt. Like, don't do that.
You always pull a person off that's getting beat up. You don't pull the one that's being aggressive. You're going to get it too. You're going to get it also.
No, I've been in several situations where somebody come up behind me and I try to tell them, like, you can't do that to me. I'm wired different. Because I react first, but I don't. Those days are behind me. So these guys are kind of talking, and even Ruby Rose's character, she's behind him talking crap, saying basically like, "I'll be seeing you," and he says, not if I see you first. Well, so the brother, since nobody killed John Wick, big surprise, he puts out a $7 million contract to everybody, an open contract. Now, this is the part of the movie that kills me, because he's done, he's ready to go home, and now they're showing you every single assassin. And you got random lady playing a violin. You got sumo wrestler looking dude eating a sandwich. You got the guy that's sitting at a desk, doing his whatever, taxes. I mean, everybody in this damn place is a damn assassin. And they're all coming after John. It takes them about 3 seconds to figure out. And, of course, who else? Common. Common's right behind him, getting ready to... So he's just slowly taking everybody out. He even takes out a guy. This part with the pencil got me bad, because it was crazy, but, like, when he put it in his ear and then smashed it...
Oh, yeah.
That part, like, I'm like, oh, that pencil would have broke. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm glad Malika didn't see that part, because she can't look at it. She doesn't like watching gruesome stuff and boring stuff like that.
I don't mind, but that part did. My wife, because everyone was in the, I was in the bedroom and everybody else was in the kitchen or the living room. And I just went, oh. Like, oh. I'm like, oh. He's like, sometimes you just watch something, you're just like, oh, man. And just start grabbing my ear like, oh, okay, everything's okay. But yeah, that was crazy. So him and Common, they're fighting each other all the way to like a subway. And then they're fighting in the subway, and they're like, people are in the subway, and they're trying not to like hit anybody. But the second the subway stops, everybody starts running out. Could you imagine being on this subway?
No.
And like watching this, like I'm out. I'm going the other way. Like, have fun.
I don't want to.
thought you.
Right.
No, man. I mean, these guys are crazy. Like, this is some real stuff. So this one ends with John stabbing him in some artery, he says, and he basically tells him, as a professional courtesy, quotation marks, I'll leave the knife in, because if he pulls it out, apparently he'll bleed out.
I wonder how long it would take. That's what I was wondering, like, how long, because like, could he go to one of these assassin doctors and they could fix him up? Because like, I don't think he's dead.
No, he's not dead, because the next part we're seeing, so a new wrinkle gets thrown into this whole situation. So now we got a new player, and this player controls the quote-unquote homeless community. But of course, they're not really homeless people. They're all assassins. Because John lays right next to a homeless guy, tells him, get me so-and-so, Lawrence Fishburne character. And he says, tell him it's John Wick. And then he lays down and puts a blanket over himself next to this homeless guy. And a couple of cops come up and like try to see what's going on. He goes, hey man, can you spare some change? That shoots both of them.
Right.
So obviously he's not a homeless guy. And they actually get into more of his in the third one. And he's a big part of the fourth one, from my understanding.
Okay.
Just because of the way the third one ends.
Okay.
So they're going to get more into that whole network and how he got into that and what happens with him. Because basically, from my understanding, he was on or wanted a seat with the Assassin's Guild, but was rejected or kicked out. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to go back and remember. So basically, this is his version of his own Assassin's Guild. And he basically tells you, like, I got eyes and ears everywhere. No one's going to sneak up on me, because I guess he tells John, like, he gave him a parting gift, basically cut him on his neck. And just like he did with Common, he said, you can either kill me and die yourself, or you can save yourself by, holding the injury and getting some medical help. So I guess, like, they know each other from past work. And so he basically tells him, hey, I got to go kill this brother. if you do it, the heat's going to be on you. If I do it, it's not going to be it's going to be on me. So he tells them, there's $7 million price on your head. Why would I give you a gun? Now, this is the part that gets me, because he's a smartass. He basically says, okay, I'll give you a gun. He gives him one real nice gun, but he's only got 7 bullets. He basically says 7 bullets for $7 million. $1 million a bullet.
Right.
But I mean, in John Wick's hand, might as well be the lottery, because
Right.
he's gonna make it. He's gonna make out just fine with that. He doesn't need more than that. So he goes and he finds out where the brother's at, and using like these underground tunnels that this character has, they get him to the brother undetected. And it's like in a museum, like an art museum, I believe. Are they still in Rome at this point?
See, I got a little bit confused because I thought he left, but then next thing I know, they were back at the Continental Hotel, and I was like, "Wait a minute!" I thought,
yeah, I think
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought
I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked like New York at one point. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
he was.
Yeah, they did. It looked like
So, but they never showed him going back to New York.
Yeah, they never showed
That's what happened. Yeah.
right.
So now the crazy thing is, John just walks into this art museum with everybody around. He goes right up to this guy, and this guy at first is kind of looking at him like, he's not going to kill me in front of all these people. And then he starts shooting all these people, and he runs away.
Right.
But the problem is, he still has Common after him. He still has Miss Rose after him. I mean, he's got trained assassins. He's got henchmen, and he's still trying to kill this dude. Who, by the way, this guy doesn't even look like he knows how to fight or shoot or anything. Does he ever have a gun?
Well, we only saw him have one at the beginning, that missile launcher or whatever that was.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's it.
he doesn't really get his hands dirty, I guess. So this guy, basically his time's running out, and so he decides he's just gonna go hang out in the Continental, and he basically tells John, like, I'm just gonna stay here for the rest of my life. Now you can't touch me.
John should have did that too. He could have did the exact same thing, because the go to the Continental.
Yeah, but you know what? He would have still had everybody after him, and he would have been a sitting duck.
Well, that guy would have too. I mean.
Well, and this is,
John wasn't going to move like he moved.
I agree, but the thing is this: we've already seen other people willing to break the rules, and now you're a sitting duck, and you got people that can. If you have 100 sniper rifles on your ass, somebody's gonna get you eventually.
Yeah, you're right.
So the other sad part about watching this movie is the main hotel director just passed in real life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I mean, like, I really like his character in this, and I guess he's supposed to be a pretty big part of the last movie, but now it's really sad to know that he's gone, and I wonder if they do another movie, what they're going to do to replace him. Be interesting to see. So basically, John sits down to talk to this guy, and the guy starts running his mouth, and John just shoots him in the head. He don't want to hear what he has to say. He don't care. He don't care about the rules. Like, he's, at this point, the focus, John Wick, is not there. He's just all emotion and just shoots the guy in the head. And, I mean, that basically sets him up for the next movie, because now everyone's going to be on him. He's kicked out of the Continental, so no more help from the Assassin's Guild. His marker is clean, but, I mean, he's going to have the main person for the Assassin's Guild basically tells him, like, this thing is not only local now, it's international, so, like, you can't go anywhere. There's no Sweden for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no middle ground. So he does, as I guess because they're friends, give him an hour before the dogs come and get him, and he starts running. And I know for a fact, so the way this movie ends with him running like this, the third movie picks up right there, like literally him running, trying to figure out what he's going to do next.
Right.
And then we are going to see where the ballerina character is going to come from, because that is one big scene in the movie, the third movie. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
because he's gonna go talk to the lady who trains the ballerina assassins. Now, I didn't know that during, but I kind of figured that's what they were doing, because why is he talking to a lady who's just training ballerinas? He doesn't look like a ballerina himself. So now we know that's where that movie's going to pick up. So it'll be interesting to see, watching it now, with that in mind, like the potential that could come down the road.
Okay. So what grade do you guys give the movie?
So I know I gave the last one an A, and I still like this movie, but I really like the first one a lot more. So I'm going to go with just a solid B.
Angel?
I'm gonna give this an A-. I actually really like the plot story part of it. Like I said, my only issue I wish this would have been 1, and we would have watched the first one as 2.
Yeah, because then it would have been like, okay, 1 was great, this one's greater, and they're building up to even better.
You get what I'm saying?
Which rarely ever happens.
Exactly, but it's like how you said, like 1 was like really good, 2 is even better than that, and that's what I would have said. But that's not gonna take away. Like, this is still a really good movie.
But 3 is great. So
even though there wasn't lots of action, when there was action, it was like kind of like what Jackson was saying. It's like bam, bam, bam. It's like you bring the energy. It's like it's right there. It's not drowned out, and it's not so quick that you want to see more. It's like perfect. So I love it.
100%.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm going to give it an 8, just like I gave the other one. And I think the difference with me and you guys is, I didn't wait around to watch this movie like you guys did. Like, you guys had years of anticipation and coming up with theories and wondering what this movie was going to be like, and I don't have that. So to me, this movie is just as good as the first movie. I enjoyed the exact same. Like, I don't really see a difference.
3's gonna blow you away then.
Well, I accidentally started watching the first part of it, and I stopped myself. And hey, you're right. It started off. It was great. I was like,
And Holly Berry's in 3.
no, I didn't
She's
know that.
Yeah, she's a good character too. Because so instead of doing martial arts training, she did gun training, but she has dogs. She had to train with those dogs for a few months.
Okay.
She has trained, I think they're Doberman pinchers. And like, you should see the scenes with those dogs. It's crazy.
Okay.
She had to go through a lot of training for that. You should look up the interviews. There's some pretty good interviews with her about the training she went through for that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I like this movie a lot, man. So I'm definitely interested in watching the next one. And just like what happens with a lot of Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, a lot of time when you have a movie come out and then you have 2 or 3 years in between, everybody comes up with all these different theories of what they think are going to happen, what they want to happen, and when those things don't happen, sometimes you don't enjoy the movie as much as you would like it, that you were gonna like you like the first movie. So I don't have that with this movie because I'm seeing them back to back. So to me, this movie is just as good as the first one. So I give this another A. So
For sure, man. For sure.
Right. So number 3, we're on chapter 3. We don't have a Patreon interview this week, so you guys go ahead. Angel and Jeff Doss, they're lining up some interviews for us. So pretty soon we're going to have some more interviews on Patreon for you guys to enjoy and listen to. What else? You guys got anything else you guys want to talk about?
I mean, seriously, go out, join that Patreon. It'll be worth it. You guys wouldn't be sorry. I mean, especially if you get like the higher levels. I mean, you get some swag, and there's just more and more swag coming out.
And
I mean, it's worth it. It really is well worth it. Trust me.
it's just crazy how much we're gonna, like, I keep saying it, man, like, sign up for the Patreon. Like, the stuff that we're doing here is just it's revolutionary. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I was just talking to someone the other day, and I was just telling them, like, I honestly think we're on a whole different level in a way that, like, I've never seen martial arts. Not only, it's not even marketed this way, but like marketed this way, and or like I've never seen a website, I've never seen like anything martial arts related like this vast, where it has so many different outlets, so many different things for people. You guys gotta join that Patreon, man. You got to.
You know what it is, Angel? You know what it is? It's people who we've been in the martial arts, all of us, for pretty much our whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we're passionate about it. So everything we're seeing, you're seeing people talking about their passion and not just trying to, like, market something and then keep marketing it for more money, for more of this, more of that. Okay. Like, we're not getting paid millions of dollars to do this. We're not doing, we're putting out, this is all coming from our heart. So it's not watered down. You know what I'm saying? Some of that content, when people take off, it starts to get like watered down, but you got real martial artists, real characters. Like, we all have our own personalities, and our director lets us, he tells us, like, I want y'all to be yourself. Don't be trying to be this on air personality. Like, just talk how you want to talk, be who you want to be. And I think that's why, like, everything comes off as genuine. And that's why I think it is the way it is.
Yeah, no, I think that's, hey, listen, what Joe said, you hit the nail right on the head, man. That was perfect.
Yeah, enough said. Ain't nothing else left to be said. All right. That's it. Everybody stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week. And I am going to play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.